our first Joker 2 trailer, another Heroes reboot, and our casting picks for Marvel's X-Men reboot. We're talking all that and more on this week's show. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to That Superhero Thing.
Let's do it.
I know we're not covering this week because we're going to cover it at the end, but have you recovered? No spoilers because people might not have watched it yet. Have you recovered from X-Men yet?
No. I really haven't. You've just laughed because you've looked at my face as I've said that.
I did, yeah. I saw Anthony's face as I walked into the house as well.
That was a genuine, I'd literally, when you walked through the door, I was 6 minutes after watching it.
Yeah.
I'd had enough time to take my dinner plate out and stuff, and that was it. And I was just sat there and I was just looking at the blank TV like...
I opened the door and was like, hiya! And I just heard, hiya! I was going to say we'll move on from X-Men, but we're talking X-Men for the bulk of this podcast, so we're not even going to get past that. But we'll move on. We'll get straight into into what we're doing this week. So on this week's show, we're talking all the latest comic book movie news. Plus, we're doing our X-Men casting picks. And finally, we're listening to who you would cast as the X-Men in this week's Podfans Assemble. This is your spoiler warning. There will be spoilers and speculation throughout the episode. And as always, we'll put timestamps in the description. Let's do news then. So, Joker 2 trailer. Have you watched the Joker 2 trailer?
I have watched it.
We'll break it down a little bit. What did you think?
Very much like the Joker 1 trailer. It was that whole idea of I just don't know what to expect from it.
Yeah.
It's very much
musical.
Headfuck.
Yeah.
Like genuinely like that. It just doesn't every part of it that's in there, it just doesn't sit right.
I know what you mean.
Does that make sense?
It feels like you could get to the end from that trailer, you could get to the end of the movie and the whole thing's been a dream and he's locked on his bed.
Yeah.
That literally could be that. Just from that, I know
be.
It's a 2-minute trailer, but that would fit from what I've seen.
However, I loved the scene with what's the partition thing, like the glass thing.
Yeah, at the end.
And she did the
drew the smile, yeah.
And then he turned into it, and I thought, because you've got to get camera angle perfect for all that kind of stuff, and I was just like, that's phenomenal.
I know.
I loved that moment.
I mean, I was going to end with that, but we're there.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It all feels, and again, it's a 2-minute trailer. Every shot, even down to that last one in there, it all feels like expertly, perfectly crafted.
Yes.
It's like there's nothing.
It's artistic.
It's very, very artistic from what I can see so far.
Yeah.
But again, we don't know that much because it's a trailer. We don't really know that much of the story yet.
No.
Again, it already looks like one of them films, like you said about the first one, where it could be literally anything but the Joker. Do you know what I mean? It could be there could be any random characters. It's just that we're going with Joker because we're going with Joker because Joker sells tickets.
Well, even from what we've seen of Lady Gaga, who looks phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like we're getting the Harley Quinn that was some sort of therapist. It looks like she's in there with him.
That's what I was thinking, but then another time she's not in there, like she's on the other side of the glass.
Yeah. So I don't really...
But I could see it being that she is his therapist and then he keeps seeing her in there. Does that make sense? Like she's in his head or something?
Yeah, maybe.
It's just, it does look like it's going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. The musical element, someone's asked Todd Phillips if this is a musical flat out, and he said he doesn't really know how to answer that, but it's definitely a big part of the movie music.
Okay.
So, but it's got Lady Gaga in it, so... I'm feeling like it is going to be.
No, exactly.
It's going to be music-y. I also like that shot. It looks like anyway that he's getting chased down the street by himself.
Yeah.
Or is it just two other people? I mean, I'm sure it's just stunt doubles. Clearly.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It looks like it's going to be. I think you summed this up perfectly at the start. It looks like a mindfuck.
Yeah,
the whole
completely.
movie. But it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
But I still haven't watched
the first one.
You need to watch
the first. You do need to watch the first one.
Well, mate, it's not out until October, so we've got plenty of time to get it, and we'll cover it on we can do it on the show, can't we? I've never seen it, so we could do
a commentary.
We could do a commentary. We could do a movie review and a commentary of it. Moving on, then, get some Marvel news, or kind of Marvel news. So, Kit Harington doesn't seem to have much going on at the moment. He was interviewed by Screen Rant this week, and he was asked about his future in the MCU, particularly obviously with his character, which was Dane Whitman in the Eternals. In the interview, he said he absolutely loved the character. He likes the idea of a good guy being turned bad by his powers, which is right. It's a unique, different.
Well, it's a flip because it's usually a bad guy turning good.
Yeah, I suppose. I didn't even think about the contrast.
Feature. So this time it'd be completely flipping that on its head, and that would be good to see.
I think there's a lot that you could do with that character. I don't know much about him from the comics, but he seems like quite a deep character that you could get a decent story out of. But when he was asked, he said, I don't know. The honest answer is nothing's in the works at the moment. If they decide to use the character in something or as a solo thing, I'd be very excited. But I don't think there's anything planned at the moment.
But he's not having much luck anyway, is he? Because
the
Game of Thrones spin-off's just been cancelled, the Jon Snow one.
Do we?
No, I know.
Do we need another one?
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
No, I know.
Kit Harington.
No, poor
like
Kit
he's just not having a grand old time at the minute, is he?
We're not going to get into fixing the MCU because we did that. Listen to the other episode.
Yeah,
it was 2 weeks ago. It just what a waste. What a waste of time. We talked about. I know I spent a lot of time focusing on the Hercules ending of with Hercules, Thor ending with Hercules popping up and stuff like that. This is another one.
Yeah,
we've apparently rewrote the script for Blade however many times now.
Yeah,
the whole cast has been removed apart from Mahershala Ali, so I've read. So we are literally starting from scratch with it. But yeah, absolute waste. Is it, as much as it's a waste, do you think it's a bad thing if we're not going down the route of that character, in that maybe we can just focus on one story? Because there was a lot. There was a lot
going on, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't mind.
Nice if he's in it. Not that bothered if he's not.
No, but if we did get a very good guy turning bad storyline, I'd be well up for that.
Yeah, I would as well.
Because it's not something that's been done.
You don't get it, do you? No, it's completely the opposite. But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, the closest you'd have to say would be Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I suppose.
But I've never thought of her as bad.
We didn't really. I know we saw a struggle kind of, but it was like a switch was flicked rather than. I know technically you should say WandaVision was her always going bad, but she didn't. She went from good to WandaVision. I know she was the main character and she was the protagonist, but she was also the antagonist of that show.
Yeah,
she was the goodie and the baddie.
Yeah,
and it was kind of we got her being pulled in both directions, but it still was. It wasn't the slow turn to villainy. It was she's a villain and we were sort of kept out of the loop. But it would be good to see a character, slowly, even over a couple of films, getting dragged into it and fighting against it and being aware that he's turning bad rather than just like I've gone a bit bonkers like Wanda did. So even if he was a Loki character, so it's he's not the main person, but you're seeing his story go as the time goes on. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see if it happens. Heroes news: Heroes Eclipsed. So we've got another series from original creator Tim Kring, and apparently it's been shopped around networks and streamers. Yeah, so the release said it's currently entitled Heroes Eclipsed. It's going to follow the original 2 series rather than it being a complete reboot, and it's going to follow more people with their powers being awakened and discovering powers that will change their lives. It'll feature familiar villains and new enemies who once again will be attempting to suppress this next step in human evolution. It's been a while since the last one, I didn't realise it was this old. 2006, I was 2010.
Say, yeah.
It's coming up on 20 years for the first one.
Earlier than that.
Did you? I thought it was like late. I thought 2010 was when it started. So we've got Heroes 2006, 2010, and then we got Heroes Reborn 2015. Can't remember that.
Did I watch that?
It had Zachary Levi in it. So straight away it's not being horrible.
I don't think I watched Reborn.
I think I watched the first episode.
No, I don't think I did.
It had. The only character I can remember coming back, I think Hero was in it for like one episode.
Hiro Nakamura.
As for a cameo.
I loved
And then
Hiro.
Claire's dad was in it for the whole thing.
Did you know Hiro was in Austin Powers Goldmember?
No.
You know the scene when the Mini crashes into the Godzilla?
Yes.
And drives around.
Is that him?
When he goes, "Run, it's Godzilla," and then he's like, actually, due to copyright law. So he's the one that says, "Run, it's Godzilla," and then he's got a skinny mate with him who's like,
I remember now. Yeah.
That was Hiro.
Legend, but he's never been in anything since. It's like he did a couple of little bit parts, but he was so good in that series.
He was brilliant, to be fair.
Genuinely, Heroes is my biggest disappointment of a TV series that I can 100%, actually think of.
And it was the writer's strike.
100% it was,
100% the writer's strike. But those first 2 seasons of it were absolutely phenomenal.
First season and a half.
Did you not like the ending of season 2?
No, because it was all wrapped up very quickly. So end of season 2 was Nathan getting shot.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't believe that was where it was supposed to go. But they had to rush it because of the writer's strike. So I think from memory, because again, we looked into this a while ago, Series 1 was just It was perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was one of the best series of TV ever.
Yeah.
And as a superhero fan, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Series 2 started really strong.
Yeah.
And I can remember because they used to have the mid-season breaks, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they had the mid-season break and it was great. And then they came back. And I think they reduced the episode count for the second half of the season as well.
Yeah.
So if it was like a 24 episode season, we got the first 12. And then we
we
wrapped it
got
up in like 4 or 6 or
yeah.
something. And it just felt... It was just a shame, and I don't think it was down to Tim Kring. I don't think it was down to the writers. It was just the fact that it was the writer's strike,
and
it got rushed. And they tried to bring it back in series 3, and it was crap.
And was it series 4? Was the circus thing?
I don't think I watched it.
And it just went mental.
I think I gave up halfway through series 3.
No sense whatsoever.
Because didn't they change all the powers in series 3?
I can't remember.
Oh, they changed some people's powers. Because didn't Peter Petrelli wasn't his? He was like Rogue, wasn't he?
Yes.
So, but he only had to be around you to use your power to get your power, and then he kept your power.
Yeah.
But they changed his power in series 3 so that I think he was like Rogue, so he had to touch you and he got it for like an hour or something like that. I might be wrong, but I'm sure they powered him. They powered him down.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you doing this? Yeah. But yeah, such a disappointment. As much as I don't think we need this, I really want it to be done well.
Yeah, same.
And I think we're at the point now where I think once you'd had that
do you know who I'd love? So like if you did it and had like one person that came back, Mika. Do you remember the little lad who could manipulate the machinery and stuff?
Yeah.
Like if he was the only one that came back, like
I
the original.
think now though, right?
Because he's an adult now, isn't he? So.
Yeah, I think right. So we were at a point where after we had the first season, a lot of the stars from that season had gone on to being far too big to come back for a reboot of the season. And I'm sure there was the odd cameo.
Yeah.
But, and this isn't having a dig, all those stars who got too big to do another season aren't that big anymore.
No, I know.
But I also think that because
even Zachary Quinto's gone
exactly
off the boil now, hasn't he?
But because of streaming, that's bigger, and that would make a show like this seem bigger. Yeah. So I think you are at the point where you could get the bulk of the characters back.
Yeah, probably.
And as much as I want to see new characters, I don't just want cameos from the old characters. I want some sort of connection rather than just it's happened again.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
It's happened again.
I'm excited, but I'm dreading it at the same time.
Do you know which episode really got me? The one when Claire got dragged into that guy who was like the puppeteer master.
Oh yeah.
The one that gave you kind of like pedo vibes.
Yeah, pedo vibes. Yeah, just say it's fine.
Like I was that. Brilliant episode.
I just think the first series was amazing.
Absolutely recoiling in horror at it all. I just thought the whole thing was brilliant.
It was amazing. So good, so well written, and it was original as well.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I mean, we'd had like Smallville and all that sort of stuff. We'd had superhero stuff.
Yeah.
But this felt like the first grown up superhero thing. It's like episode like 2 or 3. You've got Claire cutting her toe off in the sink. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, this is a superhero show that's dark and bloody.
I've got the box set downstairs, you know.
Have you?
Yeah.
See, I do feel like I could watch it.
I could watch it all
but
again.
I feel like I'd get halfway through series 2 and watch Nathan get shot and be like, no.
I've been going through a rewatch on loads of stuff recently.
I might do it.
I've been doing it with all sorts.
If this gets picked up, I might force my way through it. That'd be something to cover for the show as well, wouldn't it?
I've got all of Dexter. I've got all of 24.
Yeah, amazing
shows. I've got all of Heroes.
All went a bit downhill though.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I know.
Last bit of news then. It's bad news for Anthony, or it might be, or it might not. Last week we discovered how much Anthony is obsessed with Famke Janssen. Apparently,
I love her.
Okay, news to me as well. She did an interview with Screen Geek this week because she's in this new Boy Kills World movie.
Okay.
And she was asked flat out, "Are you going to be in Deadpool versus Wolverine or Deadpool and Wolverine?" No. She said, "I keep getting asked it, but categorically, no, I'm not going to be in that movie." But then I don't. So say this is news, but I don't know if I believe her. But also it makes total sense for her not to show up in that movie. Because she's not... She sort of disappeared off the face of the earth, hasn't she? Since she did, probably Last Stand?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could believe it. I could believe it being true and not showing up. And you'll be sad, but it is what it is. Are we done with news then?
Yeah.
Just quick fly through news. Are we doing... So
do you know what? I've got to say, it's been hard about the news recently because... I've looked at posts and I've gone, this is a couple of days old. And then I have to look at it and realise it's the 1st of April and the amount of fake news we've had for April Fools.
I hadn't even thought that.
When you're doing something like this, it's stressful.
I might have just talked about loads of random things that aren't actually true. Do you know what? Actually, I've got one extra bit of news that has just literally popped up on Twitter as I was about to leave the house to come here.
Go on.
It's been announced by the Hollywood Reporter that Paramount are working on a live-action feature film, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but The Last Ronin. Do you know what The Last Ronin story is?
No.
So The Last Ronin story, and I won't spoil it, but it's set in like a dystopian future, and Shredder's dead. It's 20 years in the future, and all but one of the turtles are dead. So 3 of the turtles have died, and the one remaining turtle, who I won't tell you who it is the Last Ronin, basically, and he's basically the only one there still trying to fight like the Foot, who have completely taken over the city. Very dark, very graphic. It's like a proper grown-up graphic novel. And the Last Ronin, the turtle, because his mutation has continued, he's like massive. He's like 8 foot tall, just pure muscle. He's still mutating. I think they say like every time he gets injured, he mutates a little bit more to recover from it. And because he's been going through such a shit time, it's a very good book.
So it basically sounds a bit like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Mad Max.
It is a little bit, yeah. But it's not as dystopian though.
But...
Yeah, and it's not like they're all living in the desert. It's just like the whole city is run by
post-apocalyptic type.
Yeah. It's very good. I'd always heard loads of good things, and I saw a couple of videos on YouTube about it, and it got spoiled for me, which the big twist is. But it's quite early in the book, to be fair. And I read it. I think I downloaded like Amazon Kindle free or something like that, and I blitzed through the whole thing in about 2 days. And it's just great.
Is it?
Absolutely great, yeah. Okay. So if they can do this, just please don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because it's such a beloved story, and it's such a good story, and it's proper back to what the Turtles originally were, not a kid's cartoon. It was a dark comic when it first came out. So it gets back to that. And I think it's Eastman and Laird, isn't it, who wrote the Turtles? So I think it's them who did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, great, amazing news. So last little bit of news just popped up now. But right, news is done. We're gonna do X-Men casting.
Okay.
So the reboot is on its way. It might be an alternate universe. It might not. They might be going down the route of Fantastic Four. So we're gonna cast it.
Yeah.
We need to stay consistent to the MCU, even though it could be an alternate universe. So we had to talk about this, and we said that you could, I suppose, have certain actors who've already been in the MCU, as long as they've not played like integral parts, I would say.
Yeah.
Because you've had
and
that
happen already.
And
I think
I've
cocked it up on one.
Okay, well, it is what it is. But, you can't have Robert Downey Jr. being Wolverine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can't have somebody as big as that. So we'll talk through it. We've worked with the cast from X-Men 97.
Yes.
Just to keep it simple. When we get to Podfans Assemble, you guys have just gone off and done what you want to do, which is brilliant. So we might have some ideas on casting choices for people that you pick as well, but we'll see where we go. We'll go through one at a time. We will try and agree, but we might not. And if there's a stupid casting choice, we will rip each other to pieces for it.
Okay. So before we start,
go on.
What I realise now is that everyone's 20 years older than I thought they were.
That's all right.
So, like,
just be going with an older generation.
Well, I've actually tried to do it age appropriate as well.
Okay.
I've really tried hard.
Okay.
I've really tried hard. But what I mean by that is, I sat there and I've gone, this person would be good, this person would be good, and then I'm going, actually, they're now in their 50s.
Yeah.
Like, it's not appropriate, but it
you got like John Claude Van Damme as Gambit or something.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, I haven't. Patrick Swayze as Professor X.
Anthony, that's dark.
I'm only joking. But yeah, so I've had to like
really think about it.
I've had to look into actors and actresses that are in their 20s and stuff like that, and gone, oh yeah, I can use that person, or that's a good idea, kind of thing. Like, it's all just been a bit like, I don't know.
No,
where I was going with
it's tougher than I thought this would be.
Yeah.
So I've got an order written down. So we'll go. Do you
want to do all of my choices and then all of your choices, or do we want to do a person and then we'll just say
so like who we've got? So we'll start with Cyclops. You do Cyclops then I'll do Cyclops. Then I'll do Jean Grey, and then you do Jean Grey, and we'll work our way through there.
Okay.
So spoilers. We're starting with Cyclops. So I'm going to write these down, and we're going to try and we'll try and see if we can come to an agreement on which one's better, or we might even get ideas for a third option as we talk through. So Anthony, who is your pick for Scott Summers Cyclops in the X-Men Marvel reboot.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Tom Hopper.
That is not a bad shout.
I know.
Anthony, that's a good shout. That's better than mine.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think that might be better than mine, yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking he's...
I don't know what it was. I just thought he just gave me that goody two-shoes, doing everything Professor X says, but still being muscly enough and built enough that he's got a bit of leverage.
I think that's a good shout, yeah. So just in case anyone doesn't know, Luther in number 1 in Umbrella Academy. Yeah. That is not a bad shout, that, Anthony. I quite like that.
I know, thank you.
I've gone a bit more, probably a little bit older.
Yeah.
And more classic, good-looking dude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think that's just what Cyclops is. He's just like proper Boy Scout.
Yeah.
So I've gone probably a little bit predictable. I've gone Scott Eastwood. Scott Eastwood. I'm trying to think of what you'll know Scott Eastwood hasn't been in. I know I was going to need IMDb for this. Well, he's Clint Eastwood's son.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Scott Eastwood, Fast and the Furious, Pacific Rim, the second one, I can't remember what it was called.
Uprising.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. He was in the first Suicide Squad with Will Smith. So I've gone him.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you check out his IMDb, he just looks like he'd be Cyclops.
Yeah.
And he's, from a character perspective, as like everybody I've ever seen him he's just that. He's just like a proper Boy Scout.
Yeah.
So that's why I've gone with him.
Okay.
So that's my pick.
Yeah.
So let's get to the end and we'll see if we can put the team together. Because it's probably best doing it at the end, because we might sit there and go, well, do you know what? That person has really worked well with that person and that and that.
Because mine are all so, like, it's a weird combo.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, I feel like mine's a weird combo as well.
But I think it could work.
Okay, sound. So we'll go Jean Grey then. So I'll go Jean Grey.
Okay.
And now, again, I've seen some of the pod fans assemble, and I feel like I've gone a little bit out there, and somebody who's maybe done comic book movies before, but doesn't really associate that much with them now. Good actress.
Yeah.
But not your typical looking Jean Grey, but I think we need something a bit different.
Yeah.
So I've gone Emma Stone.
Have you?
Yeah.
Didn't even think about her.
It took me a while, but I thought it's a little bit different. I don't know whether it's the red hair.
Now, weirdly, if you'd have said Emma Stone to me, I'd have said Rogue.
I did think that at first, and then I put her into... She was one of the first actresses, because I thought, who's a big, really talented actress? Because we want to get... we don't just want to cast of unknowns. Not that you can't be an unknown and be a talented actress, but... And I thought of Emma Stone, and I thought, where could I put her? And I did think Rogue at first.
Yeah.
And then I thought of a better idea for Rogue, and then I thought of somebody else for Rogue as well. So that's what I'm going with. I just feel like it'd be... she'd bring a lot more to the character.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I've gone Emma Stone. And I don't know how well she'd work with Scott Eastwood.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I think she'd work quite well with Tom Hopper. So
yeah.
I feel like that'd look a little bit better. But who have you got for your Jean Grey?
So I've got Catherine Langford.
Catherine Langford. Okay.
She was Meg in Knives Out. That's her. But that's a bit of a...
Yeah, okay. So she was supposed to be Morgan Stark.
Yes.
She was supposed to be Morgan Stark. Okay. Yeah. So you're getting proper younger.
Yeah.
You're going proper young. I've gone proper young team.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
As a general rule.
Yeah, no, I get that. I like that. Okay. So we're going Catherine Langford.
Yeah.
For Anthony then. It's a good job she's not already popped up in the MCU, and that scene was deleted.
I know.
Otherwise we wouldn't be able to have her. Okay. So this is the hard. I think this is the easiest one and the hardest one at the same time. Who would you go for Wolverine?
Right, okay. So, I could not get Taron Egerton out of my head.
No, neither could I.
Because
Spoilers.
I was like, classic. Like,
yeah.
Obvious choice.
I know.
Him and Hugh Jackman have had a relationship as well.
Yeah.
Like...
It's a passing of the torch.
Yeah. So, I just went, you know what? No.
Okay.
I'm going to put him to one side, put him in a box. I've gone quite British with my cast as a general rule, I've noticed. By accident.
Okay.
Jack O'Connell.
Yes. I kind of like that. I do like it.
It's like, I just thought it's a little bit out there, but he's scrappy as hell.
He is.
And I think he could get away with doing a good Wolverine.
I think, so my only thing with Jack, so for anybody who doesn't know Jack O'Connell... The only thing I think
he'd be a bit too young, maybe. I
just don't think he can look big and old enough and gruff enough. And I'm not convinced. I think Taron Egerton could probably do it better. I've gone Taron Egerton because I couldn't think.
Oh, okay.
Purely because I went round in circles with this. I was like, how old do I want to go with Taron Egerton? With Wolverine, sorry. And I was like, Daniel Radcliffe, because a lot of people want Daniel Radcliffe, and he just doesn't. I think it'd be great. It'd be really fun to have somebody like Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine. But then it's like, how well would Daniel Radcliffe then gel with the rest of the team?
Yeah.
If you've got someone like Scott Eastwood or even Tom Hopper,
yeah,
or whoever, Emma Stone and Catherine Langford as Jean Grey,
yeah,
Daniel Radcliffe just wouldn't fit with that.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
100%.
Taron Egerton just kept coming back into my head.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, from a height perspective, he's only short. He's not as short as Logan, but he's nearly there.
Yeah, yeah.
And because that's what I tried to do.
And this is the thing, he was ticking a lot of the boxes.
I know.
But I was like, everyone's already mentioned him, so I didn't want to bring up an obvious one.
But I just feel like he's that good at truth. And I get what you do, because it'd be boring if we both sat there and went, Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
But I think he is. And maybe somebody else will come along, but for me...
to be fair, I agree.
I just feel like he's the... No, I know. I just feel like he's the best choice for it. And I know you might want to go older, but you also want a Wolverine who's going to be able to stick around. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I don't want Wolverine to come in at the start.
No.
I want Wolverine to be another 5, 6, 7 years away before we introduce Wolverine, which makes Taron Egerton another 5, 6, 7 years older, which is going to put him in that perfect age range for Logan.
Yeah.
And you don't want somebody then who's 50.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to get... you're not going to have him for very long. I know we had Robert Downey Jr. for a while, but the age out at the end of the day, so you don't want to go with that.
No.
Okay, so you've gone with Jack O'Connell.
Yes.
I've gone with Taron Egerton.
So we didn't actually mention, Jack O'Connell is a British actor who's done Skins.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in like one of the Dunkirk or...
I think he was.
Ruxor Bridge or, one of those...
He was in some film with George Clooney as well, where he was on like a TV series. It was like one of these money share... like news programs, and he like hijacked it.
But this is the other thing, I like when they pick somebody out that's not very well known.
I do. Yeah.
And that's why I was thinking of these types of people.
I know, that's what I was trying to do with a few of them as well. It's like, I know Scott Eastwood is well known, and I know Emma Stone is well known, but I don't feel like I think Scott Eastwood is, but I think he just fits it perfectly. Yeah. I don't think like Emma Stone is the obvious sort of choice.
She's not the obvious choice by any means.
Like that. And I think she'd work well with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go Storm next?
Okay.
So is it my go?
I don't know.
I'd go first.
Okay,
so with Storm, I have gone with... This was hard to think of, this one. I've gone with Sonequa Martin Green from Star Trek Discovery.
Sonequa Martin Green.
Sasha from Walking Dead, who is now the captain in Star Trek.
Michael.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, the dude's name. Yeah,
Michael Bennett.
I've gone for Sonequa Martin Green.
Okay.
For Storm.
I like that
because I think she stole the show completely in Walking Dead. She became like the boss, and she's now a captain in Star Trek.
Yeah.
And Storm needs to be that I am the boss, but I'm not telling everybody I'm the boss.
Yeah,
but she just emanates this I'm in charge sort of vibe. Yeah. And I think she'd nail that.
Yeah.
Without having to sit there and go, I'm in charge, guys.
Yeah.
And I think she's a great actress. I think she's working her way up.
She's phenomenal. Yeah,
I don't watch Star Trek, but I've heard very good things.
I've watched all but the latest series of Discovery, I think, and she's just been amazing all the way through. Okay, really enjoyed that.
So she is my pick.
That's a good choice, to be fair. I'm impressed.
Okay, good,
so
good.
I can't have this choice, so I'm going to tell you this one first.
Okay,
because I just think the role 5-10 years ago would have been perfect for it. Even now, to be fair, I think she could be perfect for the role.
Okay.
But she's aged, and that's the only thing. And a million times, and she's already in the MCU, so I can't use her anyway. But a million times over, Angela Bassett is my Storm. Wouldn't she have been the most amazing Storm? She's even got the same tone in her voice as Storm has in the animated series and stuff. It's just that it's almost a bellow in a way without being aggressive. Does that make sense?
It's a deepness to the voice without it sounding masculine.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. 100%.
It's weird, but I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
So that's my ultimate dream.
Okay.
But
20 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. But obviously she's already in the MCU. We can't use her. So I went.
Okay.
Cush Jumbo.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Oh, right. Okay. So she has been in The Good Fight.
Don't know that.
Which is it was the series that came off the back of The Good Wife.
Okay.
What's
her name?
Cush Jumbo. She was also in something recently with David Tennant. It was that murder mystery one about he was in his house caught fire and his family.
Okay, I recognise her. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
And she's very much best way to put it, bad bitch energy. Like she can kick ass if she needs to.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And her character in
apparently she was in the In-Betweeners movie.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
In The Good Fight, particularly. I mean, she was in The Good Wife as well for a little bit at the end. But she transitioned over into the new series.
Okay.
And she was just take no prisoners type of
girl.
Okay.
That's what you want for a storm,
yeah,
isn't it?
100%.
Okay.
So I was just, I just thought of that and I was like, yeah, living for that one.
Write this down. Cush Jumbo.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Sound. Your go again. Who are you going for? I found this one quite hard, but I feel like I've nailed this one.
Go on.
You're going to hate it or you're going to love mine.
Go on.
Who are you going for Beast?
So I've gone controversial here.
Okay.
So I need you to stay with me on this.
Okay.
Because they're not the right age.
Okay,
100% they're not the right age.
It can be a voice.
Well, this is why I was thinking of it, because it's a voice. I've gone Bill Nighy.
Kind of. Okay. I'm going the same route as you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just sat there and I thought, whose voice sounds both... It's basically like you're posh English,
it's not a Beast voice.
Intellectual.
Yeah.
But that's why I like it, because he's the absolute opposite of a Beast.
Yes, yeah.
And that's, to me, that's the whole humour with Beast.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So I've gone the same way as you.
Have you?
This is the character to do this with.
Yeah.
So you've gone somebody who doesn't sound like a beast, but sounds like they'd be a super intelligent professor type dude.
Yeah.
And once you've got, and you could still have Bill Nye as a normal human being who then transforms into Beast as CGI.
Yeah.
I know we slagged off CGI, but yeah, it's
there.
one of them
you
things you just need to do it.
Yeah.
I've gone the same way.
Have you? Okay.
Yes. So I've gone somebody who, and I hope you're going to love mine.
Okay.
I've gone with somebody who doesn't sound like he'd be Beast, but I feel like it would be fantastic. People hate it and people love it.
Yeah.
It'll be fantastic to hear his voice on Beast. And I've gone with somebody who could sound...
Joe Pasquale.
No. I'm thinking of it though. You're not far off.
Could you imagine?
I've gone with somebody who could sound super intelligent as well. No. Someone who could sound super intelligent, but you're going classic, I'm a super intelligent professor.
Yeah.
That's not what Americans sound like. American super intelligent people sound like geeky, nerdy people.
Have you gone Will from The In-Betweeners?
I've gone with Josh Gad.
Oh, okay.
Because I just feel like he looks like he'd do the part, and I feel like Beast with Josh Gad's voice. And he can do voices as well, so he could stretch it a little bit.
I'm like hearing it in my head.
I just think...
It's so stupid,
Josh...
but it's hilarious.
I'm not talking Olaf voice or anything like that.
But that's his voice.
No, I know.
It's not even a put on
no,
voice.
It is put on a little
Olaf
bit.
is his voice.
I just feel like it'd be phenomenal.
Yeah. By the way,
I feel like he can do... I feel like Josh Gad, and it's not to sort of slate your choice, but I feel like if you go with some people, if you try and do the comedic route to a degree, because it's there, ready for the taking to go the comedic route with Beast. If you go with certain comedic actors, they can do serious a bit, but they mainly just do funny.
Yeah.
And I feel like Josh Gad can do deep, emotional, heavy,
funny you should
and
say that.
Hilarious.
Have you seen his latest TV show?
With Isla Fisher?
Yeah.
I've only seen the first series. It's amazing.
So I've just started season 2.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoying it.
So that Josh Gad, as our new
no,
beast.
I can see that. Yeah.
And that's I think if I hadn't seen Wolf Like Me, I watched it months ago when the first series came out. First came out.
I've only watched it in like the last 2 weeks.
And I think if I hadn't seen that, I don't think this would have been. I think I probably would have still thought of something similar, but I would have been purely going down the jokey comedic route.
Yeah.
But the dude can do serious.
He
can do dark. He can do heavy emotional stuff. But at the same time, Josh Gad's voice coming out of A Big Blue Monster,
hilarious. Yeah,
would fit, in my opinion, so well. He was my first pick. Literally, I was going down this. I was going, don't know. And I spent quite a lot of time on Beast, and I was like, this is it. This is my Beast.
Love it.
Okay, so who? My go to go first next time.
Yeah.
So I'm going Rogue.
Okay.
I
think I've got a dead good one.
I struggled with Rogue at first.
I didn't.
See, I did, and I went first to Isabella Merced, who is one of she's been in loads of things. She was in Transformers when she was quite young. She's one of the girls in Madam Web.
Okay.
So not Sydney Sweeney and not the girl from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
The other one. That was my first choice.
Okay.
And then I don't know why she jumped into my head, but I've gone with Melissa Barrera from the Scream reboots. Billy Loomis's daughter, the main character from the Scream reboot. I feel like Rogue needs to be, again, be able to do emotion, but at the same time be a bit of a badass.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm not sticking to the rules and I'm going to go off the rules. And she played that well.
Yeah.
I can't think of, I've seen her in anything else. I think she did In the Heights, didn't she, as well?
I think so, yeah.
So, but I've not seen that. But I just can see her having a bit of grit to her and being able to carry that off. So I've gone Melissa Barrera.
Okay.
Who have you gone for Rogue?
So I went more for the badass side.
Okay,
of
yeah. That's what you need.
I was
for
thinking who's young and who's portrayed someone that's badass where I've gone, I could see that.
Okay.
I've gone Sadie Sink.
Have you?
Yeah.
Hang on, Sadie Sink. Yes, Sadie Sink.
From Stranger Things.
Took me a second. Yeah, okay. I don't know whether I hate it or I love it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, is she too young for it?
I don't know. This is the thing.
I suppose it depends on what iteration of the character you go down.
Yeah.
Because like X-Men, the movie, young, new to the team, kind of took the Jubilee role. X-Men Evolution, the TV series, young, new to the team. And I think you're quite right. I think if you're going down that route, she is the Jubilee.
And I think that's the approach that I had with it, rather than the 93 to 96.
Yeah, I do like that. I think and I think we need to decide what type of team we've got and where the team's going and the dynamics of the team. Before you decide which one you're going with, or if you're going with somebody else. But I do like that. Yeah, I think that's a really good shout. That's very out there, but I like it.
I know. This is what I mean. Like, I've totally just kind of been. It's such a random.
Yeah, but it's good.
And there's still stuff that's just going to come from totally random.
It's good. I like it. Who have you gone with then? It's your go. Who have you gone with for Gambit?
So, okay. I looked at this and I went, genuinely, this is how I went. I was like, who looks like a proper fuckboy? Because that's Gambit's, that's his portrayal in it.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
He's flirting with all the girls, like he's a bit of a player. I mean, obviously.
I've not gone down that route.
Haven't you?
No.
Well, weirdly, I haven't, but I've gone down the route of somebody who looks like they could be.
Okay.
But makes the choice not to necessarily be.
Okay.
And I've gone Logan Lerman.
From Percy Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because I thought he could defo play that.
See, I know.
Because he's got the eyes as well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think he could pull that off.
So I just thought that'd be a really good
I've not seen him in much. I know he was in that show with Al Pacino, was he?
Yeah. I watched that show.
Is it good?
Phenomenal.
Is he good in it?
He's brilliant.
Okay.
He hasn't got a clue who he is, what he's doing, or which way. But that's how the character's supposed to be.
Okay. No.
And he plays it so well.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I do like that. It's very different to what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I went, what's his face? From the dancing movies.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum first. And I was like, no, don't want Channing Tatum.
Okay.
And then I feel like a lot of people pitching Timothée Chalamet.
Okay.
For that role.
Oh, I wouldn't like Timothée Chalamet in that role.
I don't like him in that role either, but I also feel like it's maybe too obvious in that role because I feel like, yes, he's got to be like a good-looking.
Do you know Timothy Chalamet would be a brilliant Nightcrawler?
That's what I think as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Would be,
yeah.
I'm not putting. We're not doing Night.
We're not doing Nightcrawler,
but I feel like with Gambit, you've got to be. He's got to be a good-looking lad.
Yeah.
But not your classic good-looking.
Yeah.
So not like your Cyclops Scott Eastwood. He's got to be like a
Logan
bit
Lerman
weird-looking.
Recently?
No, but I think Logan Lerman would suit that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, because he's not. Although he was like proper heartthrob before, he's still very, very handsome and very, very good-looking.
Yeah.
But he's gone a little bit more rugged at the moment.
Okay.
But in a homeless way, not a attractive way. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Well,
especially towards the end of his series with the Hitler thing.
Oh yeah. I was thinking I was in Timothy Chalamet territory.
Okay.
And I thought, who can we get who's not necessarily exactly like Timothy Chalamet, who's not Timothy Chalamet? And I landed a bit out there. I landed on Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things.
Which one's Charlie?
Will's
Heaton?
big brother.
Oh, okay.
Because I just feel like he's a good looking lad, but he's a bit weird looking as well, and I feel like that just.
I think he's too weird looking.
Just fit me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone too weird with it.
I didn't mean that.
No, it's not mean. But that's who I've gone with.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's got to have that sort of look, and that's why I thought Timothy Chalamet, because I think he's got the sort of look that I would think for it.
Do you know,
that's why I've gone Charlie Heaton.
Do you know who could have done it as well?
Who?
Sadie Sink's brother in Stranger Things. The one that's the
Billy.
lifeguard, Billy.
Yeah.
Like I think he'd be.
He could do it. He could do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he could pull off Wolverine.
He probably could, to be fair.
But it's a young Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's a very young Wolverine.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got Logan Lerman. I like your Logan Lerman better than my Charlie Heaton. But I couldn't think of anybody. Right. I've struggled. This is the one I struggled with the most. Okay. Jubilee. I really struggled with Jubilee.
I've got to concede on this one because it was only 10 minutes ago that I realised that they're in the MCU.
Oh, okay. That's not good.
And I'd completely forgotten. But you'll understand why I forgot.
Okay,
when I tell you.
For Jubilee, I was torn between two.
Okay.
Two options.
Okay.
I really struggled, and I think it shows, and I know like people, going, there's not enough diversity, and I know like, oh, well, you can't make decisions on that and stuff like that. There are not enough big, not talented, that's not the way to say it. There's not enough big, famous, young, well-known Chinese young actresses out there. There's some older ones, clearly, but there doesn't seem to be anybody in this spot at the moment. So one of the picks I went for at first, and I don't think this is where I want to land. I went at first with an actress called Lana Condor, who played Jubilee don't think she even had a line, but she played Jubilee in X-Men Apocalypse. When they went to the cinema or something, and they came back and Quicksilver was saving their house from blowing up.
Oh yeah.
So she was that Jubilee. That was her first acting
role.
role.
Jubilee was in it.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't have a line.
No.
So that was her first acting role. But she's now gone on to doing other things. The biggest thing that she's in, I believe, now is All the Boys I Loved Before on Netflix.
Okay.
So she's one of the main characters in that. So at first I thought that because I thought, well, firstly, she's doing really well.
Yeah.
The reviews I've read of her are that she's amazing and she's absolutely smashing it. And I feel like it'd be nice to get her to go back to that role that she was given and didn't get to do anything with.
For it.
Yeah, because she was a new actress. It was her first major role, and even then it wasn't a major role. So I thought that at first, and now the more I talk about it, the more I'm maybe leaning back towards that.
Yeah.
But I also think that in my version, which is what I've landed on in the end, in my version of the X-Men, I feel like Jubilee needs to be the young one coming into it, and I feel like she needs to be our introduction to the X-Men. Similar to obviously what happened in the show, but she needs to be our introduction. And I feel like, and this is a cop out, I feel like we just need an unknown. Yeah, I feel like we need a new unknown young Chinese actress to take on that role. So it is a cop out because I'm not picking anybody, but I feel like it's important to have an unknown in this role so that we're getting introduced to them. We're not going to have an idea of going, oh well, yeah, that's her. She was the hair in this, or she was that in that, and stuff like that. Yeah. We've got a fresh introduction to a whole new character, similar to how we did with Iman Vellani in Ms. Marvel. Yeah, and it's us getting introduced to that world through her. Yeah, so that's what I've gone with for Jubilee. It's a cop out, but I'm making it sound like it's not.
Okay.
Who are you going with for Jubilee?
I put Gemma Chan, didn't I?
Gemma Chan, yeah, she's already been in the
she was
MCU
in the Eternals
twice, and she was in Ms. Marvel.
Oh, well, there you
Captain
go,
Marvel.
So yeah, cock that one
So
up.
she's been in it twice.
Really,
So
I only
going
realised
with
10 minutes ago.
We're going with an
So
unknown.
that's my fault. I do apologise. I'd forgotten.
But it shows how much of a struggle
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
to find someone, and she's not even the right age.
No,
She's 40. Gemma
I
Chan's
know.
40.
she looks amazingly.
Amazing. Okay, so you'll go first. Let's go with. I feel like mine are all like top notch now.
Okay.
Who are you going for Bishop? Don't say Idris Elba. You haven't put Idris Elba, have you? No, you can't. He's already been in the MCU.
When?
He was what's his face in Thor?
Who was he in
Heimdall
Thor?
in Thor.
Was he? Was that Idris
Idris
Elba?
Elba. Yeah. He's been in like 8 Marvel movies. He died in Infinity War.
I didn't even realise that was...
Yeah.
I'd completely forgotten that's...
Yes, Anthony.
that was him.
He's already been in it. So I mean, you can have him if you want, but
No,
I don't think.
want him now. I'm upset.
Trying to think of somebody else on the fly.
Okay, you pick yours and I'll
Okay,
Cool.
mine. Right, I have gone. This was hard to think of as well because there's so many talented actors who could fill this role.
One.
Okay, go on. No, you were first. Go on. You go with your.
So,
Let's go back.
my second choice.
Your second choice.
And I think this would be brilliant.
It's not somebody who's already been in the MCU as well. is
No.
it? Okay.
Terry Crews.
Terry. No.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
He'd be amazing.
No, I don't like it, but I kind of love it at the same time. I've gone for John David Washington, who is Denzel Washington's son, and was in Tenet.
Why are you going with all these people's sons?
He was in Tenet, and he was in that new one on Disney, The Creator. Have you seen it?
Yes.
He's the main guy in The Creator.
Yes.
And
Okay.
he,
yeah.
I think, would be a fantastic Bishop. He does in The Creator. Again, it's because he's from the future. He's from a different time. He's hardened. He's battle hardened completely.
Yeah.
And I feel like in The Creator, maybe it's a negative, but he kind of plays that character
Yeah.
already in The Creator.
Yeah. No, I can
And
100% see
and
it.
that's who I've picked.
Yeah.
So he was it was a no-brainer for me. It was just the first. I'll be dead honest. I first went Idris Elba and then was like, no, I can't use Idris Elba because he's already been in the MCU. And then my second choice was that because purely from that film. I've not seen Tenet myself, actually, to be honest, but I've heard mixed things on Tenet. Okay, so let's go. My choice next. So you've literally got no one for that one. Right, my choice from Morph.
Okay.
Dead obvious, this one.
Who have you gone?
Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz.
John Ralphio.
Have you?
Yeah, I've gone Ben Schwartz.
Okay, I
I feel like you need somebody. And to be right, the only negative is he played the new Martian in Invincible season 2.
Oh, okay.
Which is basically just Morph.
Yeah.
And that's not why I thought of it. I thought of Ben Schwartz anyway. And then I was like, oh, can I have him? Because he's basically played the same character. But that's who I've gone with. I've gone Ben Schwartz.
I went totally different.
He can play zany.
Yeah. I went totally different.
Who are you going for?
And I actually went with somebody where it could be a bit of a challenge for him.
Okay.
I went with Dane DeHaan.
Dane DeHaan?
Yeah.
I know the name.
Because he was in The Amazing Spider-Man. He was...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harry.
Yeah, he was Harry.
Okay. Looks like Charlie Heaton.
Yeah.
Does a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Different, innit?
I mean, I love Ben Schwartz, but I think that's quite a different
approach,
way of
but
going.
I think he could be really good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think it depends for me, Dane DeHaan. I think it depends for me on what the tone of the movie is.
Yes.
Because I feel like for Dane DeHaan to work, that's hard to say, in a movie, it has to have a bit of an element of dark, gritty, bit of a weird tone to it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I think for Ben Schwartz to work in it, it's got to have a bit of a silly tone to it. Which is, to be fair, it's got to have the tone that Marvel's had for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily the tone I want it to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it depends on where we go from a tone perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that one. Who are you? There's 2 big names left. So we've got Magneto.
So
Who are you going with for Magneto?
So
We can kind of wrap these up in one if you want. Magneto and Xavier.
I've gone a bit older for these ones now.
Okay.
So I have gone.
Bet I've gone older.
I don't think you have.
Okay, go on.
So for Magneto, I went Charles Dance.
That's older than me.
Yeah.
Okay. Why have you gone Charles? I love it, but I hate it. But no, I don't actually. I just love it.
It's amazing. I'm not even going to take that you hate it.
No, I don't. I hated it at first, and now I don't.
I just think he plays a good villain.
Yeah.
And I don't. There's just every time I see him play a villain, it just gets me back up.
Do you think you're?
And I think that's what I need from Magneto.
Do you think Charles Dance and Magneto would fit the tone of a Dane DeHaan morph?
Yes.
Do you?
If we're going down the darker route, 100%.
Oh, I don't. I think Charles Dance is more Marvel now.
No.
Rather than dark.
No, I think he could really play it well dark.
I like that. I do like it.
Yeah.
I do like it. Okay. Who have you gone for? Do you want me? Should I do my Magneto?
Yeah.
I'll do my.
Yeah.
Okay. This was hard because, right now, unfortunately, I did a bit of Googling today and I found that no, he's not been in it already.
He's
don't
dead.
worry. No, he's not dead. He's not dead. Somebody famous over the last couple of weeks has mentioned this person, and this might give it away. Has mentioned that he thinks this person should play Magneto. But I didn't know because we took a break, so we've not been keeping up with comic book news or anything like that. So I've thought of it, and then I googled it today and was like, "Oh shit!" Everyone's going to think now I've just read that and gone with that. So my biggest issue with Magneto is Magneto's backstory.
Okay.
Right, Magneto in the comics and in everything we've seen so far was a young kid during the Second World War.
Yes.
And we're now in 2023.
Yeah.
Okay, so dude's going to be dead or 90. Okay, and that's my biggest issue with Magneto.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of somebody who we can have who's a phenomenal actor, but also where we can change the story up maybe.
Have you made him Vietnamese?
To make no.
But am I going down the right
You're
path?
going down the right route.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of what was a similar sort of scenario, and it's not necessarily going to be the same scenario, clearly, because the world always its own thing, and the Holocaust was obviously a horrendous thing, and trying to match that is very difficult. Yeah. So I've taken a weird turn on this. I've gone with the civil rights movement.
Okay.
U.S. civil rights movement, because obviously, black men, black women, that was a very time of proper adversity for them, and they had to stand up and they had to fight. And I feel like that is a similar sort of, not a similar sort of situation, but it could be construed as a sort of, like this guy has had it really, really hard.
Yeah.
And now he's a mutant and he's got over that one hard bit of his life as a young kid.
Yeah.
And now he's developed mutant powers and now he's having to do the whole thing again and justify his existence again. So I have gone Denzel Washington for Magneto.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew.
I've gone Denzel. And because I just think it'd be amazing. And I also then think that you need somebody who is going to be sympathetic to that for Charles.
Okay.
So I've gone Forrest Whitaker for Charles Xavier.
Have you?
Yeah, so I've got Forrest Whitaker and Denzel Washington as Charles Xavier and Magneto.
I don't know how I feel about them.
I think it's very, very different, but I kind of love it myself. I know it's my idea, but... And then I read it and I was like, it's not just me going bonkers. Because Giancarlo Esposito was asked literally a couple of weeks ago, apparently, whether he's still interested in the role of Charles Xavier, and he said he's 50-50, but his pick would be Denzel Washington to play Magneto.
Okay.
And I'm sold on Forrest Whitaker, but I'm only sold on Forrest Whitaker because I'm sold on Denzel.
Yeah.
And I think I wouldn't have one without the other.
Okay.
But that's what I've gone with. So who have you gone? Do you not like that?
I don't know.
I just think how else
I don't know about Forrest Whitaker. I'm okay with Denzel Washington.
Okay.
I just don't know about Forrest Whitaker.
Okay.
That's the bit that's thrown me.
Okay. Well,
slightly.
maybe we could tweak that, but yeah.
So
who have you gone for?
I've gone with somebody that no matter what role you put him in, he can do absolutely anything, and he can essentially morph himself into that person.
Okay.
And he's also one of my most favourite actors.
Okay.
I've gone Gary Oldman.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I don't know if he's too old.
I told you mine were older.
I know, but I like it at the same time.
But Gary Oldman
is a good choice. It's a very different choice.
He is very different. He's not what we'd...
But it's...
but
Yeah.
I like it.
I kind of like it. I feel like it's very different tones.
And I think if he'd do it, he'd do it.
Yeah, I
properly.
do. I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I kind of like it.
And it's, for me, it still sits a little bit with that darker tone.
Yeah. Do you think Gary Oldman could work alongside a Denzel Magneto?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Because there's another thing. An unlikely duo, if you're going kind of down the civil rights movement and stuff, an unlikely duo of a white guy and a black guy maintaining this kind of relationship all the way through that, and having their difference of opinions, but still wanting in some way to maintain that relationship with one another. I think that balance could work quite well.
Okay.
But no,
I like Gary Oldman.
I sat there and I was like pondering because Professor X was quite difficult. I think
it was hard, yeah. Because there's some obvious ones that you can automatically
you've
go
got
to.
obvious ones, but then you've got some that are just far too young and are far too old.
Yeah.
And I thought Gary Oldman, he is getting on now.
Okay.
But
no, I know, but I think he could still play it well.
Yeah.
And I think there's room for he doesn't. Not to have a dig, I'm not killing Gary Oldman off or anything like that, but he doesn't have to stay in that role forever. Does that make sense?
Not
like,
at all.
It's the older role in the movie
and
that he could move away from.
if they did sacrifice Professor X in a storyline, Gary Oldman's the one to do it.
100%.
Can you imagine? I'd be sobbing my heart out.
And can you imagine then a pissed off Denzel Washington trying to get revenge on whoever's killed Gary Oldman?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that fits really well. Okay, right. Let's put this team together then. Okay. We'll start from the top again. Right. So bearing in mind who we want in and who we want out.
Yeah.
Who are the yes, we're definitely having these, and then we'll work the rest of the team around that.
Okay.
So what are we? Right, let's start from where we've just been. Okay. Are we going Gary Oldman and Denzel Washington?
I would go Gary Oldman and Denzel.
Okay. So we're going with Gary and Denzel.
Okay.
Gary, because I haven't written Gary yet. Okay. Perfect. So who then? Let's pick the obvious ones first and work around there.
Okay.
So what are we doing with Wolverine? Are we going Jack O'Connell or are we sticking with Taron Egerton? I just keep coming back to Taron Egerton.
I mean, Taron's the right choice in it.
I feel
That's
like
the
he's
annoying
made for
thing.
that. I think like
he is.
We try and be exciting. I was trying loads of different things and I just kept going back to Taron
honestly,
Egerton.
if he came on my telly as Wolverine, I'd be chuffed.
I would.
I'd be like, they've cast that brilliantly.
I was going. I know we're going back to him. But I was going like, right, I don't want Taron Egerton. Let's have this person.
Yeah.
I was going, but they're not as good as Taron Egerton. What about this person? Yeah, he'd be good. But is he better than Taron Egerton?
Yeah.
No. So that's why in the end I was just like, I'm just going to cave. I'm just going to go Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
I even had Henry Cavill.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I was like, he just wouldn't be. I think he'd do a good job.
Yeah,
he's too big. He's too tall.
Yeah.
But I just kept coming back to Taron.
Yeah.
So let's go Taron. Okay. Who else is are we sticking with? We've got John David Washington as Bishop because we can't have Idris Elba
or Terry Crews.
No. Let's go John David Washington. Okay, right. Who are we going with for Gambit? I think Logan Lerman is the right choice.
I'd like my Logan choice.
Okay. So, bearing in mind then, because these have got to work well.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind we're going with a Logan Lerman Gambit, who are we going with for Rogue? Do you think a Logan...
Can't go Sadie. I don't
so
think
we
if
go with Melissa
Logan,
Barrera.
We'd have to.
Can I go back to Isabella Merced? Or do you think Logan Lerman would work well with Melissa Barrera?
I think Logan would work well with Melissa.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that then. Jubilee, we sticking with an unknown? Or do we give it to Lana Condor?
I'd say put it with an unknown.
Okay. Let's go unknown then with that.
And it's not a cop out. I genuinely do think that it'd be a good shout.
I agree. I do. I just think it's especially if it's our intro to it. If we're going with an older Rogue as well, we can get away with a younger what's her name? Jubilee. That's what I was talking about. Cyclops. I think Scott Eastwood is an obvious choice, but I love Tom Hopper in the role.
I really love Tom Hopper.
I like Tom Hopper.
I think it's different, but
I feel like it's the same as Luther, but a different take on the character that he's done.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see him do that. He's like the reluctant leader. He feels pressured into being the leader.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a nice way to take Cyclops.
Yeah.
So I'm going with, I like that. Okay, so we're going with Tom Hopper. Who are we going with for Jean? Are we going with Catherine Langford, or do you think Emma Stone would work well with Tom Hopper?
I think Emma Stone would work better.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Emma Stone. I do as well, but she was my pick, so I don't want to sit there and go, "Who's mine?"
I like mine.
Mine.
Yeah.
Okay. I do think though that you are right with this cast with Dane DeHaan as Morph.
Yeah.
I think Ben Schwartz. I love Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
But he's now Marvel.
Yeah.
And this isn't a now Marvel cast.
No.
Tom Hopper as Cyclops is a very, very not current Marvel pick.
Yeah.
So is Gary Oldman as Xavier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going Dane DeHaan for that.
Okay.
So we've got Storm and Beast left.
Okay.
So who are we going with for Storm?
They're both really
I know
good
hard.
choices.
This is difficult. Who do you think? Go on, let's give this. Go on. You.
I'm genuinely.
We're going with Crush. Kush.
Genuinely torn down the middle.
I'm 50-50.
I don't think I'd be upset if either of them got cast.
Let's go with Kush, because I feel like with Kush, she's still new and up and coming.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, she looks the part more, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As good, I think, as Sonequa is an actress,
Yeah.
I think she looks the part.
Yeah. I was worried when I first looked at her that I was going too much of a Halle Berry Storm vibe.
Oh, I don't.
And that was my only thing with her. But I just think she'd play it brilliantly.
Yeah, I think she looks the part.
Yeah.
I think she'd be good. I think she'd be decent.
Okay.
Last pick, Beast. Are we going comedy Bill Nye or comedy Josh Gad?
Don't know.
I love Josh Gad.
You really want Josh
I really
Gad,
feel like
don't
he
you?
can pull it off. And I feel like, especially with, do you know what? I think the team we've picked.
You know the way you were talking about it so much before, by the way, I thought you were going to say...
this is going to be someone better now.
Why has his name gone up my head?
I don't know. What's he been in?
No, the comedian. The one that was in Ghostbusters.
James Acaster.
James Acaster.
No.
I thought that's who you were going to say to me.
Kind of like it, but no. No. I think the thing that's leading me towards Josh Gad is that I feel like Bill Nye would probably suit this cast better, but in a negative way.
Right.
I feel like the cast that we've picked.
I think he'd go too serious with Beast, where Beast is supposed to be a little bit.
He's a big blue monkey dude. It's funny.
He's got a bit of an oblivious note to him.
I get what you mean.
He's very, very intelligent.
He just wants to do science.
But then the stuff that's right in his face, he just completely misses.
Yeah.
And I don't think Bill would play that as well as Josh could.
I also just think that there's I don't know how to explain the feel to this cast. It's very 90s.
Yeah.
Or early 2000s. It's very millennium-y cast, and the feel of this movie for who we're casting is very like that.
Yeah.
And I think Bill Nye is going to slot in very, very well into that because he gives off that sort of vibe as well. But I also think that maybe he'll fade too much into the background as a part of it.
Yes.
And also we need to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think you couldn't have Ben Schwartz and Josh Gad, but I think you could have one or the other. And I think Josh Gad is the better pick.
The only other weird thought that I had with Beast was, what if Daniel Radcliffe went down that way?
Yeah, I'd be all right with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of my younger choice if I ended up going down the younger
it's quite
route.
a cool choice.
Because again, he's nerdy, so he can do all the intelligent stuff. But he's also, in the nicest possible way, if Daniel Radcliffe ever hears this, a bit Aspergersy.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he just doesn't gel properly, and I think
that'd be good. Yeah,
that'd be good for Beast.
But I think, and I'm sticking with Josh Gad.
Yeah.
But I think I think Daniel Radcliffe's a good actor, but I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got as much range as even Bill Nye or
definitely
Josh Gad. And I think Josh Gad could take it from one extreme to the other.
Yeah. No, I can.
So
I will happily.
It's
go with
agreed
Josh Gad
upon.
if that's the case.
Our final team for the Marvel X-Men reboot. We'll get onto your guys in a minute. We are going Cyclops, Scott Summers. We are going with Tom Hopper.
Yeah.
Alongside Jean Grey, being played by Emma Stone.
Yeah.
For Wolverine, it's just why fight it. We're going with Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
For Wolverine. We are going with literally my favourite pick of the whole thing, Josh Gad for Beast. If this doesn't happen, I'm gonna be fuming. For Storm, we're going with Cush Jumbo.
Yeah.
For Rogue, we're going with Melissa Barrera from the Scream franchise, or not anymore because she got sacked. We're going proper out there with Logan Lerman, but I love it.
Yeah.
For Gambit. Jubilee, we've both copped out. We are going with an unknown, but it's a cop-out and it's not a cop-out because it's our introduction to the MCU through her. For Bishop, obvious but not obvious, we're going with John David Washington. Morph, we're going a bit of a serious Dane DeHaan. And then my favourite picks, genuinely, I think this is going to work really well. For Magneto and Xavier, we are going Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that.
Yeah.
People are going to be sitting there. Some people are going to be sitting there thinking, you pair of idiots, are you serious with your picks? But you know what? It's my podcast. Start your own podcast. Do your own. That's fine. This is mine. So that's our picks for the MCU X-Men reboot cast. Should we see what the listeners think? Should we do Pod Fans Assemble?
Yes.
Pod Fans Assemble.
So, Geeky Nate said, so let's see. Let's age up the OG team, let them be in their 30s and have some New Mutants to cover the younger bunch. So, Taylor Swift as Dazzler as cameo only.
I'm all right with it as a cameo.
Yeah, as a
cameo.
Like
it's a very different tone to what we've picked, though.
Coleman Domingo as Bishop.
Don't know who Coleman Domingo is. Nate,
no.
Give me 2 seconds. Coleman Domingo is... Okay, he is from... He's a serious actor. Lincoln, Selma. I don't know the dude. Ruby Gillman versus the Something Mermaid. Transformers. He did the voice of Unicron in the new Transformers movie.
Oh, okay.
And he was in Euphoria as well. And Candyman. I don't know the dude, but he kind of looks the part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we've got Giancarlo Esposito as Professor X.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad choice. Gus from Breaking Bad.
Oh, is that Gus?
Our mate John.
Our mate John.
Our mate
Why
John.
did I think his name was not that?
Because we call him John. I can see it.
Didn't we talk about this at one point?
We've talked about this loads of times, yeah. And it's the similar route to Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
I think you've really got to fight it to not go down the route of Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
But I feel like you've absolutely nailed it with Gary Oldman for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Giancarlo Esposito is a great choice.
And then he said for James Marsden and Halle Berry to reprise their roles as Cyclops and Storm.
Okay. Well, Anthony doesn't like James Marsden, but all James Masters after last week.
I don't know. I don't know whether he knew.
No, he might not have.
What he was signing.
But do you know what? I think, again, it's with James Marsden, it's like I don't feel like he really got that much of a chance to flex his acting muscles as Cyclops. I don't think Halle Berry did, really, to be perfectly honest. Like, she had like 2 lines in the first movie. She had more to do in the second one.
The third one, wouldn't she?
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. Put it that way.
No, it was Days of Future Past that she was pregnant in, wasn't it?
Was it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at it. Wouldn't be my first choice, but I'd be alright with it.
So Matt V said, "While I think Taron Egerton would do well, Daniel Radcliffe is my choice.
I get it.
He has the range. Harry Potter and Weird Al Yankovic are vastly different from Wolverine, but he has the chops, no pun intended, to pull it off."
Yeah, I mean, have
you seen clips of his Weird Al Yankovic?
No.
It's scarily accurate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still not just... I mean, as awesome as I think it would be, I'm not sold on it.
Impressive and weird at the same time.
Okay. I just
but good on his part because he's doing the role, do you know what I mean?
I'd love him to be Wolverine, but I don't think I'd enjoy it when it actually happened.
Yeah.
I think I'd be like, oh, shit.
You'd worry that it'd be too cringe.
Yeah.
I feel like Taron saying those cheesy lines, you could get away with it.
Taron's a good actor.
Because he's cheeky chappy.
Yeah, but he can pull off.
But I feel like Daniel saying those cheesy lines would just make you recoil in horror.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does totally, yeah.
So Ross Kiernan said Wolverine, Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is going to be a bit of a theme.
Okay.
Cyclops, Paul Mescal.
Yeah, Paul Mescal's a good shout.
Who's that?
He was in that. He was in it was called Sunburn or something like
Saltburn?
that. No, not Saltburn, no. After Sun.
The fact that I just jumped straight to Saltburn. Can I just say I was thinking of Brightburn, not Saltburn when I said Saltburn.
Oh, okay. Paul Mescal, he was up for... apparently he got offered the role of Johnny Storm.
Oh, okay.
Before What's His Face. But yeah, good actor.
Then he's gone Magneto, Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. I just feel he's too young.
Magneto. Bit mad, that one, isn't it?
I think if you were doing...
Like, I think he could do it.
But
I think
it depends when it's set.
age, yeah.
If you were gonna go back now and you were gonna do First Class again,
yeah,
I could see that fitting.
Yeah.
Not now though.
Yeah.
Unless you proper change up his story.
He's in the middle age now.
Yeah.
Where he's not young enough, but he's not old enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then Gambit. This is where he's gone Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe for Gambit.
He's not suave enough.
I can't see it myself.
No, I can't.
But I also kind of like how odd it is.
Yeah.
But I can't see that one.
Maury said, as long as Daniel Radcliffe is there, I'm happy.
Okay, fair
People
play.
are loving Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, I mean, I am as well.
Right. If he has to be cast, I do think he would. I think the only part that would work for him would be Beast.
No, I mean, personally...
You're too busy on Josh Gad, so
no,
I
it's
know
not
how
even
you
that.
feel.
It's not even, well, I am, but I think... Right. Where it's perfect timing. Daniel Radcliffe needs to be Wolverine, but Daniel Radcliffe needs to be Wolverine as a variant in Deadpool. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we need. We need it to be like, wow, look, it's actually happened. But I don't want a franchise of X-Men movies with Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine.
No.
It's cool,
No.
and it's going to be the perfect amount. He's going to be on the screen for 5 minutes as Wolverine, and it's going to be great. Yeah. And then it'll be like, any more than that, it'll be like, oh, thank God we didn't get him as Wolverine.
I'd love him to like throw the claws out and then go, Hermione!
It's just something, it's just made for that. It's made for that.
Ron, your hands are sweating. Oh, God. Anyway. Okay, so Ken has messages and said Taron Egerton as Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Zendaya as Storm.
Ooh, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Timothy Chalamet as Gambit.
I see.
And then he's put in brackets, yes, really.
Yeah, there you go. I can see it, though. I really can see it. I was just trying to go against the grain.
I think he's too petite.
No, I can see. I think Gambit needs to be petite.
Do you think?
Yeah, I know he's not in the cartoon. But that's how I feel Gambit is. A little bit. This isn't a dig at Timothy Chalamet. I feel like he's got to have a little bit of seediness to him, like suave ladies man, but also a little bit seedy.
What if it was Shia LaBeouf as Gambit?
I did think that.
Did you?
Yeah, I did think that, to be fair, because he's Cajun, isn't he, as well?
Yeah.
I did think Shia LaBeouf, but I just don't think Shia LaBeouf. It's like for the wrestling fans, it's like bringing CM Punk back to the WWE. It's like he's causes problems.
Yeah.
Fantastic, amazing, causes problems.
Yeah,
Only problem is CM Punk is back in the WWE now.
Yeah.
But he's not caused any problems just yet.
Okay.
He will.
And then the next names I don't really know. So Glenn Powell as Scott Summers.
Glenn Powell was in the new Top Gun movie.
Okay, I haven't seen
it. No, but suits it.
Sydney Sweeney as Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Who's Sydney Sweeney?
Who's Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
You can tell you're gay.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Because if you weren't, you'd know who Sydney Sweeney is. She's in Madam Web.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
That is out now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on. I think it's out on digital. She's just done that new movie. She was in Euphoria, and she was in. She's done that new movie Immaculate.
Yeah.
I don't actually know how good an actress she is. I'll be really honest.
She's in Euphoria as well.
Yeah, I've not seen Euphoria.
I've not seen Euphoria.
I know she gets her boobs out a lot in Euphoria. I'm aware of that.
Have you seen her with her hair tied back though?
No.
I mean, that's not a flattering picture, is it?
No, not particularly. No.
Anyway,
but yeah, I get it. I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know how good an actress she is.
Yeah.
She's just a very good-looking girl, but I don't know. Well, no. She's not just a good-looking girl. She might be a fantastic actress. I've just not seen her in anything. I've not mustered up the courage to watch Madam Web yet.
Yeah,
I will. It's got bad movie review written all over it, and we'll get there. We will get there at some point. But I don't know.
Okay.
But they did a movie together. Her and Glenn Powell have just done a movie together. Can't remember what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Rom-com.
And then Chloe Bennett as Jubilee.
Yeah, I did think Chloe Bennett. I feel like, and she's not that old. She's only 29, 30, Chloe Bennett still. But I don't.
Oh, wait. I think I'm thinking of the wrong person.
No, you're thinking. Oh, so Quake from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
Powerpuff Girls.
Who was I thinking of?
Powerpuff Girls, remember that?
Oh my god, yeah.
That was a
really
thing.
was a thing. Who's the other Chloe actress?
Don't know.
Chloe Moretz, I was thinking of.
Oh, Chloe Moretz. Yeah.
In fact, she could potentially be a good rogue.
Yeah, she could do, actually.
Okay, Sleepy Dad said Jean Grey, Emily Blunt.
Oh, ooh.
I like that.
Do you know what? Emily Blunt 7 years ago, perfect.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt now, probably a little bit too old.
Yeah.
Depends where you're going with the team, but probably a little bit too old.
Rogue, Karen Gillan.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
That's so out there, but she's Nebula.
Yeah, I know.
So no, but I do love that.
Cyclops, Henry Cavill.
Oh, that's random.
I know.
I don't.
But I could see it.
Yeah, and I think he'd work well with an Emily Blunt, Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we just sat there and said he's at the wrong age for anybody. He's not.
Yeah. I love how he's put this. Gambit, the other Hemsworth.
I saw this one, yes. I mean, it's just
So
the
Liam,
best.
yeah.
The best way is the best way of doing it. But he's too big now. He's bigger than Cavill, apparently, because he's taken over in The Witcher.
Oh, I know.
He's huge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Storm, Lashana Lynch from the last Bond movie.
She was in Captain Marvel. She's Maria Rambeau. Yeah, No Time to Die. Captain Marvel, Maria Rambeau. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can have her, but you can't. In fact, you know what, Sleepy Dad? It's your Marvel reboot. You can have who you want.
She looks so much younger in her pictures.
She's
than she does in the
binary as well
movie.
now, isn't she? And she's already in the X-Men. She was in the post credits.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? It's not a bad shout.
No.
If she wasn't Maria Rambeau, that's a good
Yeah,
choice
yeah,
for
yeah.
Storm. To be fair.
You ready for this one? Professor X.
Here we go.
Pierce Brosnan.
I
don't know how I'd feel about
No, I don't
it.
know how I feel. I don't know whether I absolutely love it or I absolutely hate it.
I think
Pierce Brosnan.
he's gone too goofy for me to take him seriously enough to be.
Yeah, I
Xavier.
feel like, again, 10 years ago,
Yeah,
did Mamma Mia ruin it for you?
Mamma Mia ruined it for me. But then so did the Eurovision film that he did.
Yeah.
With his shit
I've not
accent.
seen that. I've just seen
It's
the
so
trailers.
funny, but Nick,
So-
you need to watch that because it's funny as hell.
Who's he gone with for his Magneto?
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey Magneto. And
Can you imagine him like
and a-
flying up? All right, all right, all right.
yeah.
No.
I can't see that. I don't think they're very different picks, but I kind of love them at the same time. Interesting.
Beast, Idris Elba.
I mean, we can't because we've already had him, but he is only a voice. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad. I love the Beast character because you can go in any direction you want to go with
Yeah,
Beast.
yeah.
We've gone down Josh Gad, Bill Nye route.
Yeah.
You could go any route with
You
Beast
could go
and it
anywhere
could
with it.
work.
Yeah. And then Wolverine, Clint Eastwood's son.
Clint, yeah. Oh, so he's gone Scott Eastwood for Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think he's a bit too tall,
Yeah.
but I think he could probably pull that off. Don't think he talks enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else we got?
So we got Avid Gamer, Scott Caan as Wolvie.
That's not a bad shout.
I don't know who Scott Caan
Scott
is.
Caan is James Caan's son. He was in.
James Caan
They're
is
all
either.
kids. They're all kids. Nepo babies. Have you seen? I'm trying to think what you'll know Scott Caan from. Have you seen the Ocean's films?
Yes.
He's. There's the brothers.
Oh, it's been a while since I watched them. Like.
Yeah, I get a picture.
Um,
So there's Casey Affleck, and the other brother is Scott Caan.
He's like if you bought Ryan Gosling off Wish.
Yeah, but he also looks like. Yeah, but he looks like Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think he could pull off Wolverine. I don't know if he's got the acting chops for it, but I think he looks.
Yeah.
He looks the part. Yeah.
Okay. And then he said Cavill would make a great Cyclops. That's our second one for him, is Cyclops.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I'd rather save him for Doom.
Yeah.
Cavill is Doom.
Is Cavill a good enough actor for Doom?
I think he'd be surprising.
Okay.
I think he's got a lot more under his belt than we've seen.
Okay.
I just don't think that the roles that he's had, while very good roles, have given enough of a range for him to... Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it depends on what tone we go with for Doom.
Yeah.
And I think now Marvel, I think Cavill would do it really well.
Yeah.
I think Cavill he oversells a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a bit theatrical with every role he plays, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like he'd proper lean into it. But for where I want the MCU to go, I think he'd lean into it too much and become a little bit of a caricature. It'd feel a little bit like a parody of Doctor Doom.
Okay.
Who else we got?
So then we've got Magneto had been perfectly cast both times, which I 100% agree with.
As who? Fassbender? Oh, and Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Good
Ian
shouts.
McKellen is Magneto.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Patrick Stewart together. I mean,
Smashed
I've
it.
probably mentioned this on the podcast before, but their genuine friendship outside of work.
He's a friend from work.
They are the most wholesome two people
I know, the boss.
I've ever seen. Did I tell you that I saw Ian McKellen live?
Yeah.
At the Panto thing.
Yeah.
Best thing I've ever seen. Like,
He's boss. He's a legend.
He just makes me so happy. But what he said, if I had to pick a new actor for the role, Viggo
Mortensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon? That's not a bad shout. Zod.
Oh, okay.
That's not a bad shout either. Yeah,
See,
I kind of like that.
I had a moment where I thought about Professor X as Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
That did cross my mind at one point.
I just feel like
I didn't know. I feel like Bryan Cranston's been overused for that type of role.
I just think the struggle I have with Magneto is the age thing and the Second World War, but it depends when it's set.
Yeah, 100%. So then we've got Neil Coppin. He's put Professor Xavier, Ralph.
Neil's given us a big long list here.
Yeah, he's given us a big long list.
It's like 3 pages. Well done. It's like every cast member, every character from the X-Men ever.
Ralph Fiennes.
As who?
Professor X.
Yeah, okay.
I could see it.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I like that.
Yeah. So he's got 2 options for Cyclops. Glenn Powell. So
okay,
Glenn Powell coming up again. Or Zac Efron. I think Zac Efron is now a bit too bulky.
Yeah, but Cyclops is massive in the cartoon.
Yeah, but I also think Zac's height. I think
he's short.
I think you need a tall Cyclops in order to get your Wolverine right.
What about a Zac Efron's Wolverine? Or can he not pull that off?
Because
he's not the little heartthrobby, good-looking lad anymore.
He's.
What about Zac?
I think
Zac
he
Efron
could do it. I just don't know whether he'd be rough enough.
Zac Efron in 10 years playing Wolverine,
probably perfect.
And that's when we want it.
Yeah.
We're 3-4 years probably off this X-Men movie.
He's about
anyway.
36 now.
Yeah,
Zac. I think he's about 2 years older than me, 2-3 years older than me.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think that could work.
Storm, Cynthia Erivo
was in, and I recognise her. She was in something called Harriet, Bad Times at the something with Chris Hemsworth, Moon Girl. I can't think of anything I've seen this girl in, but I know her. I know her face.
Her. Oh, okay.
I recognise her, especially
face.
in that picture.
Yeah.
At the top. 100% know her.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sound.
Then, for Wolverine...
1980s. Oh, she's Thingy from Thingy.
Oh.
And you recognised her.
She's a Broadway actress.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, for people on the listening to the podcast, she's playing...
Elphaba in Wicked.
Yeah, there you go. The green one.
Yeah.
There you go.
The green
Elphaba.
One. Elphaba.
Elphaba. Is that her name in it?
Okay,
sound.
That's the Wicked Witch of the West.
I was going to like Godric Gryffindor or something, and I know that's not right, but that's what
that's Harry Potter, kid.
It's a dude.
You're mixing your books there.
Yeah, sorry.
So Wolverine, he's gone Pablo Schreiber.
Pablo Schreiber. Oh, Master Chief from Halo.
Yes.
Porn Stash from Orange is the New Black.
Oh my God, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks different from when he was in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, because he's putting about 8 stone.
I was thinking
of muscle.
He gives me Punisher vibes.
Yeah. Is he too tall?
I don't know.
He looks tall. He was tall in Orange is the New Black.
He is tall.
Yeah.
I think he's over 6 foot.
Yeah, probably.
Beast. Sticking with Kelsey Grammer for the voice.
Okay, I don't think that's a bad shout.
I don't think that's a bad.
No.
I've always loved it being Kelsey Grammer. I've never had issue with it.
No.
Jubilee London Thor.
Oh, that is not a bad shout. Have you watched Gen V yet?
Yes.
It's the girl who turns into the lad.
Yes.
That's not a bad shout, that. Neil.
I like that.
I
I'd go
love
with
that.
And she's technically unknown.
Yeah, I would agree. I
'Cause
think that's a really good shout.
I wouldn't say she's been in enough that we're
No.
aware. I don't think I've known her.
You
other
don't
than
recognise that
Gen
voice, do you?
V.
I think,
No.
let me just double check that's the right girl.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Jordan Lee. Jordan Lee from Gen V. Neil, that's a good shout. I like that.
So then we've got for Jean Grey, Elizabeth Debicki.
Yeah, Elizabeth Debicki. Yeah, I know that name. She's from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and she was also in Tenet.
Yeah, she's Aisha from Guardians of the Galaxy. Adam Warlock's mum.
Yes.
It is her, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't recognise because she's not gold.
No, but I also think it's that. I think that's the sort of character who is different enough that you could get them playing a different. Does that make sense? Like Gemma Chan played Minerva in Captain Marvel, and then played whatever her name was in the Celestials.
Yeah.
And you didn't, unless you know, you don't know. Does that make sense?
And then Alexis Bledel
Yeah,
as Rogue.
from Gilmore Girls.
Never watched Gilmore Girls. Rory Gilmore.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The daughter from Gilmore Girls. Yeah. I don't know. I've only
I don't know.
I've only seen her in Gilmore Girls because Jill watches Gilmore Girls. Literally, I'll get home now and Gilmore Girls will be on the telly. So, and I don't know whether that's not my idea for Rogue, but I don't know. I've never seen her in anything else. I don't know what her range is like. I don't know what she can play.
Yeah. So then Gambit Austin Butler. I'm with that one.
I'm good with that one.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's better than ours.
I flicked it over and I just went, yeah.
Yeah, that's better than ours, yeah. He'll be talking like Gambit for the rest of his life. That poor bloke. He can't shake it.
Morph, either Michael Longfellow.
Okay, I'm back on IMDb.
Yeah. I think we're going to need it for a few of them. Or Colin Jost.
Okay, Colin Jost is married to Scarlett Johansson and is off Saturday Night Live doing the news things. Him and Michael Shea. You know when they write the news stories for each other?
Yeah, I could get behind that.
I don't know Colin Longfellow.
No, I don't know him either.
But I feel, is it too silly? Don't know. Maybe. I mean, he does act, doesn't he? Because at the end of the day, SNL is just acting.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe.
So then Binary, Lashana Lynch.
Yeah, who's already that character anyway, yeah.
Iceman, Joe Keery.
I saw this. I like that.
I like that.
That's a good shout, that. Joe Keery.
I back that one.
Why is Joe Keery needs to be in the MCU?
Joe Keery's awesome.
But he needs to finish.
He's wholesome, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I like everything about him. And then for Bishop, we've got Laz and also.
Okay. And also Alonso.
Oh yeah, it's just a spelling error.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
do apologise. Yes, I know who he is.
From The Boys.
Yeah,
It's Thingy. It's MM from The Boys. Yeah, MM from The Boys,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I don't like it more than John David Washington, but I like it.
So then for Angel or Archangel, Dacre Montgomery.
Dacre Montgomery from
name.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Billy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I knew the name.
I feel like he just looks too similar to the lad from EastEnders who played him in X-Men Apocalypse.
The one with
the blonde there.
With the wings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he the one that shaved the wings off? Was that him?
No, that was...
I'm thinking
that was
of The Last Stand.
Yeah, the one in the last one, the crap one. With Ivan Ooze.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wasn't very
Ivan
good.
Ooze.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler, Noah Schnapp.
Okay.
So we're getting quite a Stranger Things.
Yeah, but
reunion.
it's not a bad shout, yeah.
No, it's not.
It's young up and comers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who haven't really been able to do anything else because of Stranger Things.
Yeah. And then for villains, we've got Magneto, Michael Shannon, so he's made an appearance again.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Mystique, Sydney Sweeney.
Everyone loves a bit of Sydney Sweeney.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Never knew it till today. Sabretooth, either Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Or Dwayne Johnson.
I prefer Roman Reigns. Neil is a massive wrestling fan.
Okay.
Yeah. Neil does the Creative Control podcast with me.
Dwayne needs to take a minute.
Yeah, Dwayne, yeah. He's a mate. He's such a good baddie, though.
Yeah, I know.
Such a good baddie in the wrestling.
Toad.
Yeah.
Sean Gunn.
Yeah. It's an obvious choice, but I like it.
It is an obvious choice.
Yeah.
Pyro, Charlie Day.
Yeah, but I like it. This is a very different X-Men movie.
I could so like him having a paddy.
I can just see him setting himself on fire and panicking and then remembering he's got fire powers.
It's like if you mixed Pyro with the angry one from Inside Out.
Yes. 100%.
Literally just flame on his head when he's getting pissed off.
It is that.
So they've actually put Mr. Sinister as Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, okay.
Which, I
get that. Yeah,
go for that 100%. He can, and
he can play you.
He can play Sinister so well.
Oh yeah,
like as in, like just being Sinister.
Giancarlo is great. He will just whatever role he goes into.
Yeah,
he's
going to
absolutely
see him
smash
out
it.
of like a dark corner and just head down, eyes up, and freaking you out. Yeah. And then Apocalypse, Javier Bardem.
Okay.
And then he's also put Lawrence Fishburne voice.
Okay, maybe if it's like full CG sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, either of those would work. I like them.
And that's all of them.
Is that all of them?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you think are better than from those picks for our picks, other than Austin Butler for Gambit? Because that's better.
That is better.
I don't mean just Neil's as well. I mean for everybody's. I think Austin Butler's just better than ours.
Austin Butler is a very good choice, to be fair.
And then I
did really like Logan Lerman, but Austin Butler is a very good shout.
I think it's a good shout as well, yeah. And I like London Thor as Jubilee.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Neil's smashing it. And I'll be honest, I do like from Have a Gamer. I like Scott Kahn as Wolverine, but I just can't get away from
Taron.
Yeah. And my other favourite, but you can't have her, is Karen Gillan as Rogue.
And now
I kind of love that as well.
Should have been a good Rogue.
I do like that. Sound, that's us then. So we've cast the X-Men universe. Let us know whether you hate ours or whether you love them, or whether, you know what, if you think you've got a better idea, tell us. And you're not going to get shouted out on the podcast unless it's really good and we think, do you know what?
We need to
say that. Yeah, so if you get some cracking ones in, then let us know. Before we wrap up, though, we'll do patron shouts out. So thanks to Geekinate, Kenneth, Richard, Jessica, Avid Gamer, Sheldon, and Michael for supporting the show. Patrons get exclusive access to a bonus show, Into the Podverse, with new episodes every month. This month, we've already said we are doing Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
We've been toying with this idea. Should we do what we said?
What?
So we've not got we've not got anything to cover next week. So we're thinking we might do the bad movie review of Batman and Robin for next week's show.
Yeah.
And then for the patron show, we will do the live commentary.
Yes.
So you can listen to both on that basis, and we can record them all in one as well, so it makes our life a little bit easier. If you want to sign up for the Patreon, then you can go to the website. I can't remember the name of the website. Patreon.com/thatsuperhero thing. Freaking it's been ages since I've said it. But the link's in the description. If you want to support the show, really appreciate that. Get on there and you can get access to some exclusive content. Other than that, though, thanks for listening. Don't forget to come back next week, as we've just said, we'll do a review of Batman and Robin. Next week's episode is episode 99.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are very close to that 100th episode. It's taken a while to get there, but we are very close. We've got no idea what we're doing for the 100th episode. It might just be another random episode, but we'll try and think of something. Don't forget to follow us on X and Instagram and YouTube as well for the latest updates on the show and calls to action for next week's Podfans Assemble. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure that you're following us on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating or review on Apple or Spotify. The more 5-star reviews we get, the higher we go up the charts and more people will find the show. Other than that, though, me and Anthony are going to go now because we're going to try and quickly think of something to do for the 100th episode. Very, very quickly. But yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for all the suggestions. And yeah, we'll speak to you next week.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. On this week's show, we're talking about the latest comic book movie news. Then we are doing our X-Men casting picks. And then finally, we're listening to you and your X-Men casting picks on Podfan. I can't fucking talk.
Podcans Assemble!
Can I do all that again? That was
one of my favourites.
That was horrendous. There's a post-credits. I'll put that in the post-credits.
Okay.
We'll do it again, then.